Hello. I just had a crazy experience, a very, very crazy, actually, about 1 week ago, opening a Thai bank account so I could get the retirement visa with my 80,000 baht in the bank for 2 months based on my non-immigration O visa. So they needed not only my current passport, but they requested my canceled old passport that I used prior to my current passport. So we go to the bank, and I'm thinking, this can't be too complicated. I know every Thai bank, they have to follow the national standard rules, which are a little bit strict and odd in their own way, but, I understand that. And I also understand from my previous visit to Thailand a year and a half ago that each individual bank can make its own rules that go on top of the national rules to create greater restrictions for those foreigners or anybody, I guess, they desire when opening a bank account. However, even local banks of a national bank can even make more rules that go on top of the national bank rules that go up on top of the national government rules that can further restrict how a person opens a bank account in a particular branch of a particular bank in Thailand. So I expected, maybe to go through the ringer and need a lot of paperwork, but I was still shocked at what I needed. Did it myself, didn't pay an attorney. Had my Thai friend with me. Without her, I probably could have done it. You need a Thai speaker to at least go with you. I mean, if you can do it on your own or you speak excellent Thai, more power to you. So we go to the bank. We're in Udon Thani, and I'm asking, should we do this in Bangkok? Is it easier? And my friend's like, nah, we'll just do it in Udon Thani. I'm not so sure about that. I'm thinking, the national capital has a bigger clientele, bigger banks. We want the Bank of Thailand, I think it is. I don't even remember. I got the paperwork and savings books. So I have a regular savings book finally, and I don't know, a passport savings book. There's two interest rates. I'm not really sure why, but at least the 80,000 baht is in one of them. Oh, and that's another thing. They wanted cash. It's like, you would think if you transfer from Wise or a U.S. credit card or a U.S. bank electronically 80,000 baht. But no, I had to transfer it electronically into my friend's bank. And then she had to go a couple banks next door in the Udon Dani Central Shopping Mall and withdraw 800,000 baht cash. So she comes back with a stack of 1,000 baht notes about this big. But that's getting ahead of the story. So anyhow, we go into the bank, and they seemed a little leery to help us at first, but we told them, I have a passport here with a non-immigration O visa. I'd like to set up a bank account. I would like to put 800,000 baht in today. That got their attention. At least Thai banks are interested in actually taking cash and opening an account. I figured that'd be a little bit of a motivator, so we kind of started with that. So we started doing some paperwork, address, name, passport number, photograph the passport, sign the photograph of the passport, photograph some passport pages with the visa, sign those pages. I signed like, I don't know, probably 30, maybe 40 different pieces of paper to open a bank account. So we did that, and then they're like, where are you living? Well, I'm going to live with my friend, in a village in, Udon province out in the country. A village of like 5,000 people. They're like, well, that doesn't really show a commitment to Thailand. Our bank is going to require you have like a condo with something called a yellow book. I didn't pick up on the yellow book when I was watching YouTube videos, but I understand it's like a permanent address book. They keep track of where you're living. It's called Yellow Book. And my friend's like, yeah, I can fill out the Yellow Book. And the bank's like, no, you need to get a year lease. And they said, oh, by the way, we know a real estate lady, her from Happy Realtor. So, they're like, they're renting, Lumpini condos for 7,000 baht a month. So I'm like, 218 bucks a month, for a condo for a year. Not a bad idea. If we come in the Udon from the province, we'll have a place to stay. We won't need to get a hotel. It's not a bad deal. So we say, sure, we'll rent the condo. So the next day we go rent the condo. Bring back all the paperwork. The bank's happy. They see the lease signed. We're going to have an address for a year. So that's great. Okay, so we got that done. In the meantime, they're like, well, you got to commit to Thailand. You're not going to get a retirement visa if you're not committed here. And we're kind of wondering, what does that mean? Well, that means you need to buy life insurance. That's a new one on me. I never heard that one anywhere. So I'm guessing that's a particular bank requirement, maybe particularly in Udon. I'm not sure. But life insurance, it wasn't that much. And it's not that bad of an idea. Plus, I may get something out of it in 20, 30 years, hopefully. Longer than that. Hopefully, I'll never get anything. Hopefully, I'll live. But, we decided to go ahead and buy the life insurance. I think it was about $1,800. I mean, it was definitely a scam. A scam, I'll lose that term lightly. The bank wants to make money. The life insurance wants to make money. So I think the life insurance money puts the bank up to it to sell more life insurance, So we probably paid a little more buying life insurance through a bank rather than just going, to a life insurance company. So maybe I got screwed or raped again. But not a biggie, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm in Thailand. Opening a bank account, that's a major hurdle to begin with. So I think that did it. Yeah, we needed the 800,000 in cash, which I thought was weird. So in cash, that means she has to walk over to her bank, withdraw $800,000, which is my money I transferred, right? Not a biggie there. And she comes back with a stack of 800,000 1,000 baht notes. And the stack is, in English terms, about 6 inches tall. There's 8 stacks of 1,000 baht notes, each about, I don't know, 7.5 meters or thick. So, of course, they run all of them through the money counter, which is fast. I mean, the money counters count blocks of 1,000 notes and 100,000 baht stack pretty quick. So it's all there. So they put it in this, I don't know, one of the two savings accounts we got. So it's all there. So it's sitting there now. It's been sitting there for a week. We did this about a week ago. So that's good. So we got a bank account. And what else? So we go home, and then about 4 days later, my friend gets a call. She's like, they want your old passport. I'm like, I'm not even sure if I have my old passport, but luckily I threw it in my bag of somewhat important papers. It's over a year old. I renewed my passport June of 2025, so it's like, why do you need this old passport? Not only did they need the old passport, my friend had to take a picture of every single page in the passport. So I guess the story was it went to the main office of this bank, and the main office is like, how do we know this guy doesn't go in and out of Thailand all the time? Maybe he's running scams or illegal activity, or maybe he's working, which I didn't. I haven't been to Thailand for a year and a half. The last time I came was 2 months under a 60-day visa. And the year before that, I came for 5 days because of this divorce, I almost killed myself. But thanks to meeting Tiki online, she showed me, it's not worth killing yourself over a divorce, and that was great. So I flew up to Chiang Rai. Tiki and I had a great time, and I'm like, yeah, there's life after divorce. Tiki showed me that. It didn't quite work out between us because I wasn't actually divorced at the time, and well, that's a whole other story. But yeah, she really showed me a good time. So anyhow, I had never really traveled to Thailand, and before that, I think 8 years before, I hadn't been to Thailand. But before that, I had been here like 7 times in the last 40 years, so 10 times in the last 40 years. Thank God they didn't ask for my second previous passport, which would have been more than 13 years ago. Or 11 years ago, or my passport before that passport, because I don't have those passports. I just have the current passport and the last passport. So anyhow, I guess they were just the bank was checking. I don't know how they check, how many times in and out of Thailand are too much, or how long you can stay before it's too much, or how they know you're doing anything nefarious or bad. So anyhow, that got cleared. They looked at every single page of my passport, a photograph from my girlfriend. We didn't have to go back to the bank, because it's an hour away from where we are in the province. So hopefully no more phone calls, and my money's sitting in the bank now, waiting 2 months to accumulate. And that will allow me 2 weeks to apply for a retirement visa. So I guess that's good. Did it all myself, but had to buy life insurance, had to rent a condo for $218 a month. So I don't know what to think of it. And then I had the experience with the hospital. That's a separate video. So I am questioning now: do I really want to apply for a retirement visa? A lot of them I've only got 2 weeks. What hoops do I have to jump through, or should I pay an attorney or an immigration person to walk me through it? I don't really want to pay if I don't have to. Kind of like the learning experience, even if it can be a little bit pricey, because it'll benefit me in the long run. Anyhow, I mean, the condo benefits me. I have a place for a year. If things fall out between me and my friend, I got a place to go. It's extremely clean. I've got to say, I walked into this condo before we signed a lease, and it is it looks brand new. I mean, I know it's about a 10-year-old construction, maybe a little more, maybe less, but I was thinking, there'd be mold in the grout of the shower, or there'd be, mold along where the wall meets the door, or around the sliding door for the little balcony. There was none of that, man. It looked like it was like brand spanking new. I don't know how they clean the place, but they've got some pretty darn good cleaners. So that was a pleasant surprise. $218 apartment per month, plus not all the utilities. I already have phones, so that's not a problem. Oh, another thing the bank wanted was a phone with a Thai phone number, and I didn't have that. So we walked out of the shopping mall, bought the cheapest phone with the cheapest SIM card with the cheapest plan. But I have a Thai phone number, and I've had it for a week now, and I haven't even looked at it. I haven't even turned it on. The only reason I have two phones now, one for U.S. number, which is good, because I can get, second, what do you call it, second authority checks when I try to log into bank accounts and different things. So the banks still think I'm living in America that way. Now, if the banks all know I have a Thai phone number, they're going to know I'm overseas, and, problems are going to start to arise because of that. But as far as banks and investment funds, no, I am living in America. I may have to get a U.S. address or count on my brother's address to have a physical home address. You can't have a P.O. box or a foreign address because, again, banks and investment firms in America will red flag that, and it creates different problems. So it is good to have a second phone with a very cheap plan, just for the purposes of having a Thai phone number. I'm not sure down the road how this will work out, but right now it's one less thing to worry about. So yeah, I had to get a phone, had to get life insurance, had to actually rent an apartment. So it didn't go as expected, but it didn't go drastically worse than expected. I mean, I did have to have my second passport book that's before my current passport book, which was weird. It still does feel weird, but it didn't hurt anything, didn't cost anything other than my friend taking pictures of every single page and talking to him on the phone. So yeah, so that's the opening bank account experience. So I like I said, I don't know what I'm gonna do with actually applying for a visa. I'll research that. I've got another 6 weeks to work on that and decide what to do, whether go it alone, which I'm tending to right now because I just like the excitement, even though it's probably going to cost me extra, or pay someone that's going to cost me too. So, but I think this opening a bank account cost me more than it really should have. But I think I'm a little bit better set up for the long term this way. So we'll see how it all works out. Anyhow, I watch so many YouTube videos on this stuff, You could only watch so many YouTube videos before, like, you got to realize it's Thailand. And depending on where you're at, what time of day, if it's raining or not, all the rules change. This is where I'll leave the video. The one thing you got to do is just stay perfectly calm and peaceful. Stay calm and peaceful. The bank lady even asked my Thai girlfriend. She's like, "How does this guy? How did you meet a guy that stays as calm as this guy?" She really admired, how I can stay calm. But I've had a lot of practice doing puto meditation, practicing saying Jai Yin Yin over and over in my head, sabai sabai. So anyhow, it all worked out for the best, I think. Anyhow, that's my experience. Maybe it'll help somebody or not. Good luck.